Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Curious Carl 97. Thanks for being curious, Curious Carl. You asked, why do some people taste cilantro as soap? Cilantro, the leafy green that's torn friendships apart, ruined tacos, and sparked more online arguments than pineapple on pizza. For some, it's fresh, citrusy, and absolutely essential. For others, it tastes like someone accidentally shaved a bar of Irish Spring onto their burrito. But why does this happen? Are your friends just being dramatic, or is your mouth playing some kind of leafy green prank on you? Let's find out, right here on Explaining Everything. So here's the weird part. You're not imagining it. Cilantro really does taste like soap to some people, and science is on your side. It turns out the flavor of cilantro comes from chemicals called aldehydes. Now, aldehydes are just organic compounds with a fancy name, but some of them are found in, well, soap. Specifically, the kinds used in perfumes and cleaning products. For most people, these aldehydes just register as part of cilantro's fresh, lemony aroma. But for others, it's like their tongue just filed a noise complaint with the soap factory. It all depends on whether your brain gets citrus herb or shower disaster from those same compounds. This is why you might be calmly enjoying a bowl of guacamole while your cousin Becky acts like someone sprinkled in dish detergent. So where does this taste betrayal come from? Enter our good friend, OR6A2. That's not a new Star Wars droid. It's a gene, a very rude one. OR6A2 is responsible for building a receptor in your nose that detects aldehydes, the soap-flavored ones. If you have a certain variant of this gene, your aldehyde detector is basically cranked up to 11, which means your brain is way more sensitive to those soapy notes in cilantro. Instead of picking up subtle herbal vibes, your brain screams, "Oh no, soap! Soap is not food!" Studies show that about 4 to 14% of people have this gene variant, depending on their ancestry. That's right, your dislike of cilantro might actually be a full-blown genetic trait, passed down like a family heirloom. Son, one day this nose will also make guacamole taste like regret. Some populations are more likely to have this gene than others. In people of European descent, around 10% have a strong aversion to cilantro. In East Asian populations, it's higher. In South Asian, Middle Eastern, and Latin American populations, it's lower, which might explain why cilantro is more common in cuisines from those regions. If cilantro makes up half your national cuisine, you kinda hope your ancestors weren't violently anti-leaf. Let's say you're a soap taster and you want to change your cilantro-hating ways. Is there hope? Maybe. But also, not really. Here's the deal. Taste is part biology, part psychology. So yes, your genes are doing most of the dirty work here. But your brain can learn to reinterpret those signals. Over time, exposure to cilantro might dull the nasty response and let your brain focus on the green, citrusy parts instead of the soapy ones. This is called acquired taste, and it works for lots of foods like black coffee or olives or literally anything in British cuisine. Some chefs recommend crushing cilantro leaves before using them. Apparently, this releases different compounds and reduces the intensity of the soap-like aldehydes. But we can't guarantee it won't still taste like a mouthful of shower gel if your OR6A2 gene is on maximum overdrive. You can also just not eat it. That's totally valid. You're not broken. You just have a superpower that detects rogue dish soap where others see salad garnish. Let's talk about something even weirder. Cilantro haters feel very strongly about it. Like, you could casually mention you don't like raisins, and people will nod politely. But if you say cilantro tastes like soap, a room might gasp. Someone will chime in with, "Thank you," and another person will act like you personally insulted their grandma's enchiladas. This is probably because cilantro doesn't just taste bad to you. It tastes wrong, unnatural, like it's posing as food, but forgot to take off its soap costume. And that uncanny flavor, something that should be edible but feels weirdly inedible, can create a strong emotional reaction. Your brain's like, "I do not trust this leaf." That distrust turns into passion. And the internet has only made it worse. There are entire forums, Facebook groups, and even cilantro hate clubs online. Honestly, cilantro has the kind of organized opposition that most politicians would envy. So, why does cilantro taste like soap to some people? Because a sneaky little gene called OR6A2 makes certain people hypersensitive to the soapy compounds in the herb. It's not in your head. It's in your DNA. You're not being dramatic. You're being genetically betrayed by your own olfactory system, which is honestly a pretty solid excuse to use at parties. So whether you're Team Cilantro or team that tastes like bathroom cleaner, now you know the science behind the soap salad. And if you're still sad about missing out on guacamole, just remember, life is full of other herbs. Basil would never do you like this. If you're now contemplating on ordering those Mexican takeout, don't forget to like, subscribe, and avoid cilantro if it makes you question reality. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.